Hello, and welcome to the Conscious Hoofbeat podcast. This is a podcast that explores the interconnectedness of our health and the health of our horses through self-care, mindfulness, and personal development, along with a little equine wisdom and wellness. I am your host, Dr. Pamela Maynard. I am a published author and researcher, equine bodyworker, energy facilitator, and I am passionate about deepening our connection with horses. If you want a more meaningful relationship with your horse, it starts within yourself. So don't forget to go to conscioushoofbeat.com and sign up for our exclusive email list to get the Conscious Hoofbeat Monthly and start your journey today. Today, I want to talk to you about building confidence with your horse through self-love. I have a friend who rides dressage, and she's very fond of Friesians. She has had a Friesian, and the next horse she got was actually a half Morgan, half Friesian. And as we know, the stereotypical dressage horse of choice is a warm blood. And when I first went to visit my friend with her new half Friesian, half Morgan horse, I encountered her trainer, and we were watching through the barn windows and discussing this horse, and I made a comment. She still likes her Friesians, doesn't she? And the trainer responded that it wasn't her horse of choice. However, we both agreed that the Friesian was quiet and aided in building the confidence of my friend in the saddle. I have another friend who has anxiety, and she spent many years training at Arabian show barns, and now that she's over 40, she's decided that the cold-blooded quarter horse is just a little more in alignment with her anxiety. And I really feel that making these decisions is really a part of us honoring ourselves, and it's a form of self-love. This past year, I got my first quarter horse. He is only 8 months old now, but I figure that by the time he's going under saddle like really well, I'll be in my 50s and it'll be a really good fit. I tell him all the time that we're going to grow old together, and when he's in his 20s, I will be in my 60s, and that's a perfect match as far as I'm concerned. As I pondered how we may change our mounts as we get older, I really started thinking about confidence, because I know I'm not as confident of a rider as I was 20 years ago. And, I used to hear it all the time, and I think it's still out there, about build confidence with your horse. And I don't know that any of that stuff has actually ever really helped me. Like, years ago, I used to ride for an NRHA judge, and he always said, "Cowboy up." And that never really felt good to me, and I'm quite certain it never helped build my confidence either. What built my confidence was riding lots of different horses and under the guidance of trainers and instructors who were accomplished horsemen and horsewomen and gaining experience. But what does confidence really mean, especially when it comes to horses? The dictionary defines confidence as the feeling or belief that one can rely on someone or something, like a firm trust, the state of feeling certain about the truth of something, a feeling of self-assurance arising from one's appreciation of one's own abilities or qualities. So I challenge you to ask yourself, based on these definitions, ask yourself, do I feel I can rely on my horse because our relationship is built on firm trust? Am I certain about the state of feeling about the truth of my relationship with my horse? And do I feel self-assurance arising from my appreciation of my horse and our abilities and qualities as a team? I believe that building confidence within ourselves and our relationship with our horse is an ongoing process. We have our highs and we have our lows. We can go years with smooth riding, and then one day we might get kicked or bucked off. But when the horse accidentals happen, we don't stop loving horses. But I wonder, do we sometimes stop loving ourselves? Fortunately, I haven't been kicked very many times in my life, but a couple months ago, I was feeling perhaps overly confident in my relationship with my horse, and I didn't communicate with him before I went to take his blanket off. I startled him, and he reacted by kicking in the same way he would have kicked at a horsefly landing on him in annoyance. It was totally my fault, and I hobbled around on a bum leg for weeks. I beat myself up for not doing what I know I should have done. Simply make my presence known before I walked up to him. I should have said his name or said whoa, or I should have just said something so he knew I was there. And I thought he knew I was there. I had been cleaning poop and banging around gates and wheelbarrows, and I wasn't even that far from him, but he had his head in the hay bale and was eating and was present with himself, and he wasn't paying attention to me. So obviously, I was a little overconfident. Lesson learned. The Buddha said, "You deserve as much love as every other being in the universe." So, how can I love myself if I beat myself up for my imperfect horsemanship skills? In order to answer this question, I had to remind myself of the importance of self-love. As we practice giving love to ourselves with all our hang-ups and problems, that is where we will also increase our self-confidence. We are not born with the ability to beat ourselves up, and in the same way, we aren't necessarily born super self-confident. We have to send love to ourselves every single time we feel our negative thoughts and feelings arise. And I can promise you that it'll only take a few days or weeks until we do feel much more confident when we come from this place of self-love. So one more challenge for you this week. I challenge you to apply this concept of self-love to your riding. And I believe that you will be on your way to a much stronger, confident connection with your horse. Until next time, enjoy your horse.